welcome back to the scripting section, and today we're going over variables. I recommend you watch the first part if you haven't. Okay, so we're back in studio, and today we're going to go over variables. So if you haven't already, open up the game and go to studio and go back to that part that we just created. So it'll be closed, but if you click the arrow right here, you'll be able to see the script. You can double click it, or you can go to the tab up here and it'll show you where the script really is. And here's what we left off with our number, our string, and our boolean. So let's delete all this. And we're gonna create a few lines here. So press enter, create a new line. I'm sorry I forgot about that in the last episode. But anyway, this specific keyword allows you to create variables. So it is called local. And you name this variable whatever you want that is appropriate. So I'll say my potatoes, and we do space equals space. This is where we specify the variable. So we're gonna make this a string. So we're gonna put in quotes. And we can say potatoes for an example, and we do enter. And we can also create a variable. It can be anything that's in the world, or string, number, boolean, etc. So I can say probably number 1 equals 26, say. And we can also do a boolean. So we can do local bool is equal to true. So how about we try printing these out? So let's do print, and we're not gonna do quotes because we have all these variables associated with quotes or not, since what I said in the last video is true. And we're gonna first say my potatoes, and as you can see, it'll autofill it. So we can say my potatoes, comma, space, and we can say number 1, comma, space, and bool. So we have our string and our number and our boolean again. Let's run the game. So we can go on down here, and would you look at that, we have potatoes 26 true. And you're wondering why it didn't really print out my potatoes or number 1 or bool, because these variables are associated with something else. So our bool is true, number 1 is 26, and my potatoes is potatoes. So how about we do some math here? So let's make another number by going to the end of number 1 and hitting space. We can say local number 2 equals 14. And how about we also subtract this by number 1? And if you're trying to subtract a number to anything else, it will throw up an error. So it has to be a number going against another number. So number 2, so this will subtract number 1 with number 2 and our bool. So let's run the game. So we have potatoes 12 true, because again, it's 26 minus 14 is 12. And we actually take this up against any number, so we can just say maybe 12 or maybe 10, and this will give us 26 minus 10, and as you can see, potatoes 26 true. And we also do other math. How about we make this equal first? So you can do number 1 space slash, this means division, and number 2. This will print out number 1 divided by number 2, which is 26 and 3. And as you see, we have 2 in the output. And we can do this for any other math property. So we can do multiplying, which is this is the star. If you press shift and then 8, and this will multiply 2 times 3, or number 1 times number 2, 26. You can also run these under the variable. So I can do 2 times 13 here, and I don't have to really do that. So we can just delete that, and let's run the game here. Oh. Attempt to perform arithmetic mole on number nil. Now that doesn't really have much importance, but you have to make sure that you look over this red underline here. That means it's an error, and you can also see it here, error type. So you make sure you delete that, as well as the multiplication, and this will give us back our number. So this will do 2 times 3, and there we have 2 times 3 in the output. If you're naming a variable, make sure it's only one word. It cannot be 2 words. And we can actually override variables and change them. So I can do bool, and since this is true, I can do equal to false. And if I do put bool in the print, it'll actually say false. So if I click run, you'll see it says false. And also to make sure not to put the local variable because we're not making it. If you don't put local, then you're overriding or changing a variable. How about we do say number, and then we do my potatoes and number 1. So this will print my potatoes and number 1. Let's just run the game here. As you can see, it'll have number 26, but I don't want it to be this space. So we're not actually going to use a variable here. Instead, we're going to delete the comma in my potatoes. You're going to do quotes. And just do it twice since it won't automatically make another one. And we're going to do number. And we're going to go out of the quotes. And we're going to do dot, and space the number and the dots. This is basically how you combine a string and something else like a variable. So if I run the game now, you'll see we have number 26 combined together. And if we do, say maybe do space here, then it will actually make the space again like it did with the variable. And then just to maybe say you want to say something else after number 1 and number, so you do dot and then quotes, and we say space potatoes, and we click run. As you can see, we'll have number 26 potatoes. Since we're combining the number and number 1, which is 2 times 3, which is 26, and the string potatoes. And I think that's going to be it for this episode. And I think in the next one, we're going to go over functions.